It's time for an update. So 2 weeks ago, Mark and I introduced the GTN 5k challenge, where we hope to try and better our 5k PBs with 8 weeks of training. And we went away and did our 5k tests and have now done our separate training programs for the last couple of weeks. So thought it was time to give you a little bit of an update on just how we're getting on.
Well, hello everyone. As you watch this, we are rounding out our second week of training for this 5k challenge, which means we have just 6 weeks remaining. Now, for myself, I need to find 1 minute and 40 seconds roughly if I want to better my 5k PB, which some might think is a little bit ambitious, a little bit punchy, but I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm still super excited about this and I'm giving it my all. As a bit of a reminder, I'm following the low volume, high intensity plan, and rather embarrassingly, that means at the moment I haven't done anything more than around 30 to 40 minutes in each run, and I'm running more or less every other day. A slightly different story with Heather, but what that does mean is that everything's been quite easy to digest and manage. I'm fitting it in nicely around my day-to-day life and work, so I'm really enjoying it. So actually at the moment, I haven't had to delay, postpone or miss any of my runs. So it's all going really well. I'm really happy. I'm feeling a nice sense of accomplishment. I will admit though, it's been harder than I expected. My legs are really telling a story at the moment, but hopefully that means it's going to pay off. Each run I do, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling more like a runner again. But as the weeks go on, obviously the volume is going to increase fractionally, but hopefully not too much. But like I said, I'm feeling a nice sense of accomplishment at the moment, so big thumbs up from me.
We've both got some work to do, but it's fair to say that I've left myself with quite a large target. If you did watch our initial 5k video, then you'll know that I've got to find 2 minutes and 20 seconds in just 8 weeks, but I like a challenge, so I'm keeping my head up and I'm going for it. Although I've started to wonder if I chose the right program. I'm doing low intensity, but high volume, and it made sense at the time because I was running around 40k a week, so I've got some mileage already in my legs. But my main incentive was an ultramarathon which I had entered for July, so I was supposed to be doing Race to the Stones, which is a 100k event, so obviously I was going to have to up my mileage anyway. It has just been cancelled, which isn't obviously a surprise in this situation, but I'm committed to this program now and I'm going to try and get as close as I can to that 5k PB, although I might be going about it the harder way. Well, I am regretting, however, the order in which I've set the sessions, because I'm finding session number 1 of the week the hardest one for me to do. And last week, it's fair to say I failed. I procrastinated for 3 days. So I swapped it. On Monday, I just did an easy run. Tuesday, I ended up doing no running at all. And it got to Wednesday and I still hadn't done Monday's 90-minute run. So that's the one that includes a 60-minute of building up to your 10k pace. And I don't know why, I was just really dreading it and I kept putting it off, and eventually I got it done. And I don't know why I didn't start it sooner, because I definitely felt that real feeling of satisfaction. It's quite a meaty run. I built up, so every 15 minutes to increase your pace up to around what you think your 10k pace is. I don't know where mine's at the moment, but I managed to hold 4:25s for that final 15 minutes, and it was quite a gradual build and I felt really good afterwards. I'm kind of enjoying the slight change in order, but let me know how you guys are finding the program at the moment. If the 90-minute run is your nemesis, do let me know in the comments section below. And I want to find out if Mark's got any regrets or if he's done any sneaky swappings with his session. So I think it's time I went and found him for a bit of a chat. Hey Mark, how are you finding this training? Yours is completely different to mine. I'm desperate to know how you got on after 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, hi. Yeah, it's very, very different from yours, obviously, but I'm really enjoying it. It's quite short sessions. I feel quite lucky in that sense. I must admit, it's been a lot harder than I expected. My legs today are actually quite sore from just the sessions I've done this week, and I definitely went way too hard in my tempo run last week. I think that's just me clinging on to my old paces. So I might just need to take a bit of a reality check this week and the weeks going forwards. But yeah, I'm also super excited to hear about yours because you're putting in a lot more volume.
Yeah, it's kind of quite a lot to fit into the week, and you suddenly realise that you're sort of the volume accumulates, and then you've got the long run at the end of the week. So I've played around a little bit, and I'm almost missing some of the high intensity and got a little bit carried away on one of my sessions as well, which probably touched into high intensity, and then felt that and trying to do a little bit of, cycling and stuff as well. So it's, in that sense, it's kind of, I'm having to kind of, after 2 weeks, realise that how to manage it and how to kind of pace myself, I suppose, a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit about the biking's quite interesting because we had a few questions about that. How are we fitting this program in and around our cycling? I'm going to be very honest, I'm only doing maybe a couple of rides per week, so quite easy, but I guess my program actually lends itself to that because I'm more or less just running 1 day on, 1 day off, so actually I can go bike 1 day, run the next day, and I can fit in some gym and core around that. Obviously can't really swim at the moment, but yeah, how are you doing? Are you having to just do a double day sort of cycling?
Well, I'm kind of using my easy days to do a bit of bike, and then I'm seeing it as, especially as it's a high volume program, to kind of be boosting the high volume side of things because my cycling's quite low intensity, so it's on the same style. Like, I'm not doing any Zwift races like you are. I've done the odd little Zwift session, but I'm kind of keeping that all low intensity. But I want to know how mentally you're coping with knowing when you've got a hard session, because I'm a really bad procrastinator if I've got a long session or a hard, and you've got a couple of really ones you've got to be there, you've got to turn up and do it.
Yeah, well, I touched on this earlier in the video, but actually I have struggled on a couple of them. I've woken up and I'm like, really not in the mood, having been quite excited the night before, and then realised, well, it's only half an hour and I'll be over and done with before I know it. So actually, in that sense, fine, I just get on with it, and I'm always surprised how well I do in that session. And yeah, like you say, I'm doing some Zwift racing, but I guess an athlete that springs to mind here is Richard Murray. He trains quite similarly to this, from what I understand, quite short sessions, doesn't do a massive amount of volume. Works for him, so I'm hoping it's going to work for me. Do you think you're still on track to... Right, where do you think you're going to go with this?
It's hard. We're a quarter of the way through, aren't we? When you look at it that way, you're kind of because I feel like I've made big improvements in just 2 weeks, already, and I feel like I could already run faster than I could 2 weeks ago, even with the mileage in my legs. So I know I'm really going to need a taper. But the target is maybe, I think I've improved more quickly than I thought, but I'd already at the very start didn't think I could get to it. So I would now, if I actually had to put a number on it, which I never kind of like to do, I would say I would be delighted if I could get under 19, an 18:59, I would be delighted. That's still going to be a minute and 17 seconds quicker. So I've still got a lot to do, and that's still not the target, but it's kind of almost my target now. Is your target still the same? Do you think you're on track?
I'm definitely feeling like a completely different runner, much lighter on my feet. So I've kind of said in my mind, I'm going to be super happy if I go under 15:30, which is going to be obviously an amazing time. It's not going to be it wouldn't be a PB, but I think, I'll be absolutely delighted if I do that. Anything extra, bonus. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Should we go and see how we've been getting on as well? Good morning. So yesterday I had a 40-minute steady run. This morning I've got hill reps, just half an hour. Let's do this. All right, so this is my hill of choice today. So I'll be doing my hill reps. But yeah, that's 1 week down on the training plan, start of the second week. Successful first week, I'd say. I'm actually surprised how tired I am, despite all the runs being quite short, and yesterday actually being an easy run. But I guess, it is all hard, and throwing a couple of hard bike workouts in too. So yeah, I am enjoying it. I'm feeling like I'm getting the work in that will help me towards this PB, and hopefully adapt a little bit this week. But yeah, let's crack on with the session. I've got 8 lots of 20-second hill sprints, 30-second jog down recovery, 3-minute recovery, and then through again. All right, let's jog back down and get this going.
Okay, midweek, half an hour easy run this morning. Let's do this. Okay, decided to head straight out up a super steep hill this morning. Barely warmed up. This is hard. But yeah, today's super easy. Just gonna be jogging along today.
Now then, I thought I'd also touch on my activation and mobility routine that I mentioned in the previous video, and a few people have asked about it. Now, this is because when I did that first 5K, not only did it feel awful, I also felt like my hips were like steel rods. I had no mobility or range in them. My legs also just felt totally out of control. So off the back of that, I decided I'm gonna do more activation mobility, something I haven't done for a very long time. And I've been trying to keep it to around 10 minutes. So it's just quite easy, quite simple. I know I can kind of fit that in most days, or at least on the days that I'm running. What I've tended to end up doing is a little bit of activation prior to the run, so that I'm ready and firing to go. And then I'm doing the stretching when I get back from the run. Again, just for like 5 to 10 minutes tops, just to, once the muscles are warm, and just to keep them nice and supple. So I'm just back from a run now, so I'm actually gonna get on with some stretching. But I thought I'd talk you through it whilst I'm doing that. So for the activation work, the reason being is that I'm sat on my bum all day, and I need to get the glutes working, because the glutes obviously not only play a big part in propulsion, but also the control. What I tend to find is if my glutes aren't working, I start to pick up injuries elsewhere, or my calves overwork, to try and stop the knee from rocking around. So I've been doing lots of simple like clams, glute bridges, single leg glute bridges, just slow controlled squats, and maybe even sometimes, if I'm feeling up to it, some single leg squats. And that's pretty much it. That seems to do the job quite nicely for me at the moment. And then the stretching wise, again, this is just to keep on top of injury and make sure that I can get that range in the hips, because that can really help with performance, and obviously prevent injuries. So I'm just doing some nice sort of hip stretches out. I'm also working on the glutes, and also just keeping on top of things like my lower back and my calves.
Well, Mark, I have to say I'm impressed that you're managing your strength and conditioning. It's something that I've been a little bit slack on. When I'm doing big miles, I probably should be doing it. I used to, before the lockdown, go to the gym at least twice a week, and I was squatting and also doing some upper body work, which I'm doing zero of at the moment. I am, however, managing yoga at least a couple of times a week and doing a few bits of activation exercises, but I think I need to up my game, and I'm feeling inspired from Mark, so thanks for that one. But quite a few of you guys have also asked us of whether we're still doing any cycling alongside this, and I am actually. I'm tending to do a slightly bigger cycle ride on Sunday, so my legs are definitely tired, but it's meaning that I have that real focus on my Saturday long run, and that's why I swap Monday and Tuesday around a little bit, because Monday's run is just not happening after a decent cycle on Sunday. So feel free to play around with it a little bit, and I'm also putting in a shorter, normally a turbo session on one of the easy shorter run days. So just work out what works for you, and don't be afraid to move your schedule slightly and fit that cycling in around. But if you are trying to get this PB, then you want to put your running in your program first and just fit cycling around it, so it will complement it and it's not going to hinder and get in the way. After all, we are in it together, whichever program you're doing. But let us know whether you're following that high intensity, low volume and tracking what Mark's up to, or if you're doing the high volume, low intensity with me. We really don't mind. We want to hear from all of you guys. So after your sessions, do drop your comments in the comments section below. And the countdown is on. We've got 6 weeks to go until we're going to smash our 5K time. So let's keep with it. Do check out our social media channels and give them a like and a follow too.